Hey Gen Max, welcome to Bucerias, Mexico, not too far from Puerto Vallarta. This is a town that I had never been to before until last night, and I'm excited to share it with you. We're doing a real estate tour in this video. So I've got Shasta Townsend, who is the best realtor in Bucerias, and we connected online, I think a couple of years ago, and I finally made it over here. She's gonna give us a tour of town. We're gonna look at a couple of different properties, see the different types of properties that are available and what's available right now. And then if it's something that you're interested in working with someone to find a property in Bucerias, I can highly recommend Shasta, so connect with her. But let's first hear a little bit about Bucerias, because as I mentioned, it's a town that I didn't know much about until just last night. So let's give you a little bit of an overview.
Hey everyone, welcome to Bucerias, Nayarit, just north of Puerto Vallarta. I'm Shasta Townsend. I moved here about 4.5 years ago from Canada, and I don't think I'm ever leaving. I love Bucerias because it has small town vibes, but tons of culture. You have great expat culture, but you also have a great mix of local culture. And the locals are very friendly and very welcoming. We have pristine beaches, it's super walkable, and we have amazing price points all the way from 150,000 US up to $2 million. So you can definitely find your Shangri-La here in beautiful Bucerias. Let's check it out. So our first stop is Pavilion. Pavilion is what I would call a luxury condo building half a block from the beach. So units in this building are usually selling for between 520 to 600,000 US, but you get sensational ocean views. We also do rentals in this building. So if you're someone who wants to come to Bucerias, stay by the ocean, stay somewhere nice, rentals in this building usually rent for about 5,500 US a month. Also good to keep in mind as an investor that you could cash flow a property like this very easily. You're also in the heart of the Golden Zone. So in Bucerias, we also have these beautiful houses that are right at the ocean. You get a beautiful oceanfront lot and a beautiful house. We're probably going to start around 1.5 million US, but also across the street from me, you can see new build construction. We do have a lot of construction in the Golden Zone of Bucerias. And again, it depends on the property, but you can get a 2-bedroom in pre-construction, usually around 400,000 US. So we are a few blocks up from the beach, but still in the Golden Zone of Bucerias. And this is sort of a typical 2-bedroom plus flex condo in Bucerias. This particular unit actually rents for 3,500 US a month, but I have a unit just above it for sale for 425,000 US. So these are great values, amazing views as you'll see from the rooftop. Check out this 2-bedroom plus flex. So here we are on the beautiful rooftop of Torre Naomi. This is the unit that 2-bed plus flex. So a couple key things to know when you're considering buying a condo. You want to understand what the condo rules are, or what it is called condo regiment. Here in this particular building, for example, there are no pets allowed, but we do have sensational ocean views. The other thing to keep in mind is actually condo fees per month. They're always quoted in Mexican pesos. This particular unit, the condo fees are 5,900 pesos a month, so about 340 US dollars on the exchange. The Pavilion condo that was right on the beach, their condo fees are about 550 US dollars a month. And it really just depends on what the condo provides. Pavilion is a luxury building, very high-end services. Here, Torre Naomi, it is a great building. There is 24/7 security, great rooftop, but it's just a little different in terms of amenities. So keep in mind when you're condo shopping, also those condo fees.
So it is an amazing view from up here. We're just 5 minutes from the beach, 5 minutes from the Chedraui, a local grocery store. We're just across the highway. We're going to be heading into the east side. So that's where we're heading next.
So we are on the east side of Bucerias. We call it the east side because it is on the east side of the 200 highway and it's away from the ocean. But on this side is where we see a lot of expats moving. Why? Because you have sensational property values. For example, this house behind me, it's a 2-bedroom, brand new private pool I just sold for 225,000 US. It's also very walkable. You have great restaurants and a great combination of both expat and Mexican culture. Let's check out the east side. Welcome to my casa. This is a 5-bed plus office, 5-bath house that my husband and I actually designed and built here on the east side. We are in the community of Agave Azul. So once you start going out a little further into the mountains, and not far, friends, about 5 minutes drive, you get into beautiful, pristine, gated communities with sensational mountain views. This community in particular is a combination of both American, Canadian, and Mexican owners. We all work very closely together. I personally love living out here. I hear roosters and donkeys versus traffic. So if you're looking for something a little more in the country but close to the beach, you may want to consider some of the gated communities here on the east side.
So we're going to get a tour here of her house, and also there's one more house that's nearby. So I'll put in a little bit of footage of that and have her talk a little bit about that house too. But this is a gorgeous house in a neighborhood that I would say is mostly lots. And I do want to hear a little bit about why there's so many lots here and not necessarily houses on those lots. It looks like there's a lot available, but there's not a lot available. So let's hear about that.
So one of the strategies for Mexican nationals is they actually tend to buy a lot of land and they hold land for a while. The lot that we built here, the owners had purchased about 7 years previous, and they never had an intention to build. So as a buyer, if you're looking to build, there are lots of lots for sale also on the east side of Bucerias. And it is not a red flag at all. Again, it's a strategy that a lot of Mexican nationals do is they buy land, they hold it, they're waiting either for a great time to build or they're waiting for us expats to come in and buy.
So yeah, I've noticed this is common in La Paz too, is that Mexicans like to hold their wealth as property. So, and often that property is land. So very common. But I want to switch gears a little bit. Before we take a tour of this house, I want to hear about like why Bucerias versus Puerto Vallarta or Sayulita. Those are kind of the bookends of this community.
Okay, so why Bucerias versus Puerto Vallarta or Sayulita? So let me first say that obviously I have a huge bias towards Bucerias. I have lived here for 4.5 years, and I chose Bucerias, and many expats are choosing Bucerias because Puerto Vallarta is a city. It is more urban. There is high density tourism there at times. Me, I wanted a little more quiet, a little more laid back, real beach town. And that's what Bucerias offers. Now, if you go up the coast to Sayulita, and you've probably heard of that town, it's super cool, it's super quaint. it kind of sways a little younger in age. So I'm in my 50s. I didn't want to be hanging out with surfer dudes all day. Love them. So if you're looking more for something that's a little bit more chilled out compared to the city and a little more refined maturity, that's what you're going to get in Bucerias.
So of course I got to ask, what about pickleball?
So pickleball, I think, is like a pastime. I think I'm like one of the only people that don't play pickleball. Don't hate me. So there's pickleball all over the place. There's actually pickleball on the east side near that house that we looked at. There's pickleball literally just kind of over and up the street from me. So if you're looking for pickleball, tons of opportunity here in Bucerias. The other thing that people do here is a lot, the beach is sensational. So there's great swimming. There's great paddle boarding is a huge favorite also in this area because we don't get gigantic waves. So it's not a surf town, but it's great for paddle boarding, great for swimming, great for beach walks as well. Bucerias also has a huge arts community. If you're someone who you think of yourself as an artist, you are an artist, or you are an aspiring artist, I guarantee that there is a class, workshop, or studio space waiting for you. Everything from painting to stained glass is something that you can find here in Bucerias as well.
So let's go ahead and get a tour of this house and hear how much it's actually on the market now. So if you're looking for a place, this might be the perfect one for you.
Okay, when you walk in the front door, you enter a living room that really is designed for indoor-outdoor living. That's very common in Mexico. So we have a living room space that flows right into the outside. Great space for entertaining, beautiful saltwater pool, and actually a grill and barbecue area as well. And then we built the kitchen also for cooking and entertaining. You can see we have a large kitchen space area with an island. So cocktails at the bar if you like. We did put in a full stove. That's not always common actually in this area. Large upgraded appliances and a dishwasher, which is also not always common in the Bay. And then I wanted to put in a cocktail coffee bar section as well, complete with a mini wine fridge. And then this house, we did full house water purification. So as you probably know, you don't really drink the water in Mexico, in this part of Mexico anyways. So we put in a full 4-stage water purification. So it's a question actually to ask when you're buying or renting. Often you can put in water filtration fairly inexpensively, but it is something to consider. And then in this house, it is a 5-bedroom plus office house. We designed it with a lot of natural woods. So organic wood is more termite proof in Mexico. The stairs, for example, are made out of porota. And these are great, again, for not only the look, but also we're anti-insect. So here we have a main floor master, complete with its own ensuite. And then we also put a guest bedroom, which could be an office or a study, also on this floor, also with its own ensuite. And then we'll head upstairs. So here we are upstairs with a ton of amazing natural light. And we actually built this house to take advantage of the natural light. So we get sunrise off the front of the house and sunset off the back of the house. Upstairs, we have 3 bedrooms as well. We have a guest bedroom. We have the powder room, or actually I should say full bath up here. We're using this bedroom as a gym right now, which you could leave or certainly turn into a bedroom. Now I want to show you all something that we did off the front of the house to take advantage of coffee while you watch the sunrise. And it's a little bit hazy here today, but we actually get full mountain views all around us. And at night you have a little twinkle garden of the city out there as well. And then this floor is also a master suite with an office that flows off that master suite. Here we also have really lovely views of the mountains all around us in Bucerias. And then here, the sunset is literally right in front of us right now, or would be at night, Really beautiful sky. One of the things that I also love about living out here is it's much quieter, and you see that there is actually pasture land around us. So you'll see fields, you'll see pasture land. I wake up, as I said, to chickens, to horses. And so for me, I really love that, 'cause it's not always quiet in Mexico, but here you get a little different vibe.
And as I mentioned earlier, this house is actually for sale. They built it to be able to sell it. So let's hear about prices.
So as I mentioned before, living on the east side of Bucerias, we have some really great price points. So this house, for example, if it was located in Nuevo Nayarit or in the Golden Zone, would probably be close to $1 million US. Here it is listed right now at 10.9 million pesos, which is about 600,000 US. Why that price point? Because that really are the prices that you can get out here. So you get a lot of house, you get a private lot, and here actually our HOA fees are only 1,000 pesos a month right now, which covers water and garbage. We do have security gates, and this is an up and coming community, but you get, again, a lot of house for your buck.
So before I tell you what's up next, I want to make sure that you push the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And if you are a subscriber, push the share button to show other people what's possible for them. But next up is actually a little bonus for you, and that is a little footage from Ken and Chuck's house, and they are not too far from here, and they're my next interview. So I'm going to take some footage of their house and splice it in here. It's a more traditional style, Mexican style house, still out here in this more rural area, so you can get an idea of something else that's available. And Shasta was the real estate agent on that, so let's hear what houses out there, like what is typical for houses out in that area.
So when we look at a house like Ken and Chuck's house, it's a little more traditional Mexican style. It's a 3-bedroom house, and usually the price points here on the east side are anywhere between 300 to 400,000. Even here in Agave Azul, we have some smaller style houses, also a little more traditional Mexican. So you're going to get them also at a great price point.
Well, Shasta's contact information will be down below. So if you're interested in real estate anywhere in the Bucerias area, if you're interested in this house specifically, you can contact her and let her know that I sent you, because she's promised me plenty of margaritas. So I want you, though, to check out some other videos. I've got other videos on the screen if you're ready to watch some more. Up here is just videos with realtors across Mexico, and down here is something that YouTube has picked that's perfect just for you. So from Bucerias, Mexico, wish you were here. Hasta luego.